Have you ever wanted to use shaders but didn't know what pack was right for you? Today I'm going to be looking at every shader pack available on Forge and ranking them based on all factors, including graphics, performance, lighting, and much more. This video took me a while to make, so I would really appreciate it if you could drop a like and a follow. Now let's get into it. Now before we actually get into the game, I just wanted to show you, I have 73 shaders that I have installed here. Just scroll down to show you every single one of them. And if I go over to add new content, you can see that that is every single shader pack that is available. I'm on 1.21.1 is that has most of them updated to that, and there's a few that aren't updated to the newest version, so I think this should be the best to really show the most amount of shaders that I can. And the only other thing we have downloaded on this profile is Sodium and Iris for the shaders. Here is the world we're going to be demonstrating everything on. These are the settings I'm using, 25 chunks for everything, unlimited FPS, no VSync. You see right now I'm a little over 1000 FPS average, and if you want to look on the right, you can see the specs of my PC to see what I'm dealing with. I've strategically placed down blocks that I think would look good or I would like to see in each shader pack. As well, you can see all the shaders I have right here. Every single one is installed right now. Later, I'll start to remove the ones that are less liked, but let's just get right into it with the first one. Unfortunately, it looks like this first one is not working right now. That's alright, we got plenty more to go. It's the same guy here. Let's see if this one will work better. Yep, this also does not look like it's working. That's unfortunate. Let's try and get into one here that does work. Alright, BDS shaders. Alright, this is the first one that doesn't look like it's done anything wrong. I can see it's affected my FPS a little bit, but I can't really tell what it's done. And for every single one of these, I'm going to do daytime as well as midnight to be able to see the lighting at night as well. So let's get over there right now and change that. Still not really seeing any differences at night. Maybe this pack is to be used with something else. Maybe there's a texture pack with it. So far, I haven't really been able to rate anything. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, and this one's called Bliss. And finally, I can tell something has happened here. Just looking around, I don't see anything wrong with this one. Looks pretty good. Decent FPS at 198, that's pretty low, but as you'll see later on, I'm sure some of these will get lower. Pretty good night lighting effects, nothing special on any of the ores or anything like that. The lantern still shines as normal. This one isn't blowing me away, but overall it's not a terrible pack. I don't mind this one. Next one up is called Bloody Shader, and yep, as I was guessing, this is more of a horror style pack. All it really does is make your game look a little scarier. The sand texture as well looks a little bit messed up. I don't know if that's intentional, but I mean, this one does what it says it does, so I can't knock it for that. And I guess if you're playing a horror mod pack, this would probably be something you'd want to use. Next up, we got Body Camera Shader. I like how this looks outside of the outline. I understand that that's part of it. I think it looks a little bit weird. The game does feel like it's, yeah, and it is 480 FPS. That's pretty decent. I would usually like to cap it at 240 depending on your PC. If the GPU is getting used a lot, I wouldn't want to stress it too much. The night lighting looks pretty good in this one. Maybe a little bit bright as the overall night, but overall I think this is a good pack. If you don't have a huge computer, this one might work well for you. If you like the style, I definitely recommend this pack. Next we have BSL shaders. This is more of a classic shader that I'm used to. Looks very good. Got nice shadows, a nice sky, the water looks really good. Running at 265 FPS, which isn't too bad. It's a little bit on the lower end, but overall that's not terrible. I do like the night color. I like that you can see underwater as well. That's a big touch. I like that in packs as well. End rod's not too bright. Looking over here, it's a dimmer lighting than everything else, which is nice. I'm a big fan of this pack. This is a pretty popular one. I'm sure most of you have seen this. But I would recommend this if your PC can handle it. This is a very nice looking pack. I'm going to grab a spyglass as well just so I can look over at some farther away things. I like when it renders in light from a distance. It makes it look really good if you're far away from your builds. Yeah, if this is your style of pack, I definitely would recommend it. It's pretty nice and it's not running terribly. Next we're going to have BSL Classic. We just looked at BSL. I'm sure this will be very similar. I can already tell some slight differences though that I kind of like. The reflections are really nice. The colors look a little bit different. 271 FPS is pretty good. Nothing yet happening to the ores. Yeah, overall, it's a little bright, but I don't mind that. It looks pretty good. At night, yeah, the end rod's pretty bright. It's not terrible, but that block can be, you know, super bright in some packs. I like the water, I like the sky. Overall, this is pretty similar to the last one, of course, as it is just a complimentary version of the other BSL pack. Again, would recommend this one. I haven't had many I wouldn't recommend. It's been pretty self-explanatory when they have been. Next, we have Best Vanilla Shader. I can tell this one is pretty simplistic. It does change the lighting a little bit. Doesn't really change much of the blocks. Gonna have to go to night to see how it really affects light. Getting 300 to 500 FPS though, which is pretty good. So if you're on a low-end PC, this might be a pack for you if you're liking the style of graphics that this provides. Again, it's a pretty simple shader. However, sometimes that's what a lot of people like. You like to keep it simple, like to keep the real vanilla look. I prefer to have a little bit more going on, but you know, the lighting's pretty decent. It doesn't look too far from the vanilla Minecraft lighting. But overall, if you want just a subtle change, I would definitely recommend this pack, as it's going to run very fast on like 99% of computers. And the next pack here is CH Motion. Can't really tell any difference with this pack. I don't know if that's just me. I'm still running at 800 FPS. Maybe it's a little brighter than vanilla, but realistically this might just be a pack you're supposed to add with something else that maybe adds a little bit of motion or something, like motion blur, even though I'm not seeing that when I'm moving my camera around. I do like the effects of the water at night. That may just be the vanilla Minecraft look. I've been looking at so many shaders, I forget. Overall, I don't really see much of a difference. We'll go into Complementary Reimagined now as the next one. This is a pretty popular one, and I really like the way this one looks. It just brightens it up, although it doesn't feel too bright. It does really well. It's a little bit lower on the FPS. I'm getting about 200 right now. This is one of those big popular ones. Again, it looks really nice. We got the first effects on enchantment tables, as I see there. I really like it when they add some of those other blocks in the game that usually don't change. Pretty bright redstone torch. A lot of the other lighting effects are pretty similar to other shaders, but overall this one does look really nice. I like it. Again, it renders out that village. You can see it from a distance. Yeah, just a pretty solid pack overall. I'd recommend this one to anybody. Next, we have Complementary Unbound. Very similar to the last pack, however, I know this one has some subtle changes that I personally like. As you can see, the ores, well, you'll be able to see a lot better at night, but the ores are a little bit shiny. It has a little bit better FPS than the last one. As you can see, yeah, the ores, they're lighting up. The water effect is nice. Again, you can see things under the water. They're bright. It's very similar to the last pack. Obviously, it's, you know, the name is the exact same, but the shining ores, that's a big thing. I personally like that in a pack. It doesn't really change much since you don't use ores in your builds very often. But, you know, if you are just playing a straight survival world, that's just really nice to see those ores while mining. The next pack we have here, it's in a beta version, so I'm not sure if this one's going to be perfect, but it does load nicely. I do like the water effects. It looks pretty decent. My game does feel like it's running a little slower though. Yeah, 150 FPS isn't ideal, but I kind of like everything I've seen so far. I do like the lights, but it has a bit of a reddish tint, which is never my favorite. Sometimes they sort of get too red. There's a fine line between like an orange light and a red light, and this kind of teeters more towards the red side, but overall I like it. Next we have CTR, VCR, and I mean, yeah, looks like a VCR. Not really much else to say. Cursed Fog, pretty sure it's going to be similar. I do like the black borders though. This is a much better horror pack than the last one that we had looked at. Not really sure if it's going to be too dark at night. It's pretty dark. The lights are sort of flickering as well. It's got that grainy quality over it. Yeah, this is a much better pack if you're into the horror side of things. If you're playing with horror mods, it's running at pretty high FPS, so you should be able to combine them with no problem. I like this one as well. Now we've got cyanide shaders. Ooh, this changes the color. I'm not necessarily a big fan of the color it changes to. I am running at really high FPS. Some of these as well, when they shift the color, nighttime does not look as good. I mean, yeah, it just looks blue. It doesn't look ideal. I mean, maybe, again, you're supposed to use this with something else, and maybe you personally like this color, but I'm just not a fan of this one. With so many choices, I would choose something different. Next was Dark Legacy shaders, but that one is not working. Now we'll go for DMS shaders. That one's also not working. Moving directly on to the next one, Dr. Destin's Minecraft shaders. Alright, here we have another working one. This one's pretty clean. I like the water. 487 FPS is pretty good. That should be able to solidly play through a playthrough on. Playthrough, that's pretty awesome wording. But other than that, everything looks pretty nice. Water does look a little black, but I do like what it does with the sky. The lighting, very dynamic. I do like what it's done. I mean, it's still pretty vanilla, but I do think there's a little bit of changing on it. Overall, I think this is a good pack, and with the FPS that you're getting, I would not complain. It can definitely be used on a lower-end PC. This next pack is called Emoji Shader. I can't quite say I didn't expect this. It's kind of funny, but, you know, not really a playable shader. It's kind of a joke. We got energy shaders. Doesn't really look like it's done anything to the game here. I don't really think it has. I don't know. Still have 800 FPS. Maybe it changes the colors up a bit. Again, I've looked at about 50 shaders today, so it's kind of tough to tell at this point what even is vanilla Minecraft. Don't really see much of a change at night. I think this is pretty much just vanilla Minecraft, and it might literally just be vanilla Minecraft. However, I guess vanilla Minecraft still looks good, so I wouldn't complain. Next we have Erbium shaders. I think that's how you pronounce that one. It's taking a little bit longer to load in here. Maybe this one's a bit beefier. Yeah, it definitely looks nice, though. The water looks really good, and I like the color that it's added. However, it does feel like it's going a bit slower on my PC. 240 FPS is actually pretty average. That's not too bad at all. You'd probably have to play on 120, though, because you don't want to make your GPU work too hard. I do like the distance on this one. It looks pretty dang good, as well as the sky. The lighting at night is pretty good. Still haven't seen that, what is it called, the Soulfire Lantern or the Blue Lantern? Haven't seen one that really does much to that one yet, so we'll see if they do. Next one is Eternal Shaders. I already like the color of this one. It does feel nice. The water's beautiful. Nothing really changed. I do like some of this lighting, though. The sky is nice. 130 FPS, though, that's pretty low. I have kept clouds on because not every shader pack has a sky. And this is very dim lighting. I'm not a huge fan when it's this dim. I do like the orange lighting that it's going with, but it's pretty difficult to see what's really going on by lighting. I don't know. Overall, I still think it's a good pack, and if this is your style, I would not complain. It's just very dark, very bright. Next, we have Fast PBR. I'm guessing by this one it's going to be a fast shader, although it does look really good so far. So if this is a fast shader, it's pretty solid. My FPS, although, is 117, so that's not really looking too much like a fast shader. Yeah, and those light blocks are extremely bright. Sort of maybe even a little too bright. I do like the yellowish light again, as I've said, but it's just super bright. If you're really distant away, though, it does look pretty good, and the sky and the clouds is also, you know, very nice. But 141 FPS, when it says it's a fast shader, that's not ideal. Next one we're going to go for is Glimmer. Again, this one looks pretty decent. This one does look pretty nice. 233 FPS, that's pretty average, pretty consistent over the course of most of those middle tier ones. I'm really going to give a lot of points to those ones that have really, really good FPS because, again, most people can use it. And this is the first one that's got the sides of the enchanting table looking really nice. I do like that. It's unique. The sky is pretty nice. It doesn't really set itself super apart from other ones. However, that enchantment table and the sky is very nice. I would recommend. Next, we have Hysteria Shaders Universal, or Mysteria Shaders Universal. I can't really tell with the font I've got on. It does kind of look a bit mysterious, very foggy. It sort of unrenders a little bit quickly. 251 FPS isn't terribly bad. I'm just gonna have to check out what this looks like at night. Oh, it gets very dark. You can hardly see in front of yourself at all. Not much light being given off by the redstone torch. Everything else is sort of just giving off normal light levels. I don't really like this one that much. It's too dark at night. Next we have Ink Shader. Can't really say I expected too much different from this. It just makes it look like ink, I guess. Insanity Shaders Universal. See if this one's good. First impression, it looks solid. Looks pretty similar to others I've seen, but I do kind of like the hazy effect it's got over everything. I see it's not running terribly bad. 240 FPS isn't, you know, It's not high, but it's not low. Gets pretty dark at night, and the lights aren't super bright. No real special textures on anything. And when you're looking at a distance, you can't really see anything. That village in the distance isn't there. I'd say it's solid, but maybe again a bit too dark. This next one's called Just Colored Lighting. It appears to have brightened up the game a bit. It's definitely something. It definitely is coloring the lights. I mean, it's running very fast. It just is a bit too bright for me. And the nighttime is a bit too bright for me as well. I will say, however, that redstone torch effect is something I would like to see in a couple more of them texture packs. And that is also, yeah, the soul lantern is also a bit textured differently. It's got a brighter white light instead of the more yellowish light. I do like what this pack has done with the soul lantern and the redstone torch. I just think there's not enough going on to really warrant this one as super good, but I like it. Next we have the Kappa shaders. This is another relatively popular one. It's super beefy though, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it looks very nice, but I'm running at 93 FPS. I think this is the lowest I've been at this entire time. The night colors are pretty decent, although the blocks themselves are way too... those are way too bright. Again, a big fan of what it does though with the redstone torch and the soul lantern. The two different colors is nice, and the distance is good. If your PC can run this, I really do think this is a beautiful pack. However, with it being such high FPS, it has to be low. Next we have light shaders. This is pretty clean. It hasn't done too much. I'm still getting in the 500s. Now it's dipping a little bit, but I'm still getting pretty high FPS. So I do like that. I think for a light pack, this does look pretty clean. I have really no complaints so far about this one. Let's see what it looks like at night here. The light is pretty solid. Again, nothing really with the redstone torch or the soul lantern. It does load in light from a distance away though, which I do like. The sky is pretty nice. The clouds are pretty nice. Again, I'd say this is a pretty solid overall pack. I do have a few complaints, but again, this is a light pack running at high FPS. This is a pack that most of you guys at home can use, so for that, I'm going to probably give it bonus points. Alright, the next one is lobotomy shaders. Yep, I only have a guess at what this one's going to do. Well, I don't really think I'd want to play with that one on. Next we have the Lux shaders. Alright, back to the normal shaders. This one looks pretty solid again. I do like how bright that light looks underwater. That does look like it'll be really nice. That sky is very beautiful. I like the color. A little bit lower on the FPS side of things. Okay, wow, I really do like that. That is pretty nice. I'd say that is my favorite aspect I've seen of any shader yet, is that sky effect there. If you're able to combine shaders, there's so many pieces of these different shaders from these tests that I would put together, because the sky is beautiful in this one. The lighting is as well pretty good. I like the lighting that I see, but this sky is kind of stealing the show here. If there's any lower tier shaders that have a really good sky like that, that's going to get massive bonus points. Overall, I would definitely recommend that. This next one is Makeup Ultra Fast. Again, for an ultra fast shader, so far, this does look pretty good. I like the water, I like everything I'm seeing. I'm running at 295, so a little bit more FPS than the average one, but still not as good. I have had packs be in the 500s that I as well think were pretty decent. The lighting's not bad. The sky looks pretty standard. There's almost no light coming off of the redstone torch, which is, I guess it's kind of a bummer. Nothing else really special going on. In the 300s now, this is still a really nice pack for a low tier computer. I do like what it's doing, and I would recommend this if you have a slower computer. Next we have Mellow Shaders. I do like this one. This brings out nice colors. I really like the sky and the colors this one has. It has a little bit of afterglow, and I'm at 900 FPS. It's going down a little bit, but that is really good. Colors are super vibrant at night. I like the sky. The lighting's not too bad, but just being at 900 FPS with a shader on is insane. That means that most people that only can get up to like 300 to 400 FPS will still probably be able to at least run this at 200 FPS, which, I mean, that's pretty dang good. Even low tier computers to be able to use a shader would be really impressive. So I'm gonna, in the ranking at the end of the video, I'm definitely going to be considering this one pretty high with that FPS, and it looks pretty dang good too. The next shader on the list, we have Miniature Shader. Again, looks pretty clean, looks pretty standard. I like the water. 775 FPS as well. That's pretty dang nice. Again, another one that most people will be able to use. Don't really see too much in the distance, but it's, you know, it still looks pretty dang good. It's pretty tough to tell. You're gonna want to look at night. Again, very standard lighting, nothing too crazy going on. I do think they've done a little bit there to some of those ores. They do look a little brighter. You know, that little touch I definitely think is going to give this bonus points, because I love when they change those ores and make them a little brighter, easier to see in a cave. Not much else done here, but again, still recommend this pack. Let's see what FPS I'm getting at now. Yeah, 562. I'd recommend this hugely. Next one, we have Motion Blur. I mean, this does exactly what it says it does, and it also messes up the sand texture down below. I'm not a big fan of Motion Blur, but if you are, you know, I'd throw that pack on. It definitely adds Motion Blur. Muf AGI Rebuild. Oh, this is very bright. It has a watermark in the bottom left corner. I don't think that I'm going to be giving that any extra consideration at the end. Not a big fan of that. A little bit too dark in the dark spots and too light in the light spots, if that makes sense for my liking. I mean, overall, it's... Oh, just going to ignore that. Overall, it's not too bad, but yeah, some bugs. It's not a bad pack, but it's not great. Next, we got Negative Color. It does exactly what it says it does. I could see some uses for this. If you're doing like a building challenge and you don't really want to know exactly what you're using, throw on Negative Color. Makes it difficult to see. Next, we got Neon Skylines. Don't really see any change. Sword into Night. Well, that's definitely something. I don't think that I personally would want to play with that, but maybe, again, maybe there's a good use case for it, and I'm just not seeing it right now. Next, we have Night Vision Shaders. Can't really tell any difference right now. I don't know if this even did anything. Maybe it brightens up the night a little bit more. Maybe I should have tried drinking a night vision potion. I don't really know. I'm still at 900 FPS, so if this did change anything, I mean, it's not bad. Next, we're going to go for Noble. I mean, this one looks really good, but 77 FPS is tough. Everything's kind of loading in slow as well. And this does look beautiful. Oh, okay, it's loading in. I was going to say, I can't see a single thing. Yeah, I mean, that's a really nice night sky, and I really do like the lighting effects that it has. It's just, you can't really play a shader that I'm running at 83 FPS. It's just not really playable, unfortunately. Going down to the next one here, we have the Nostalgia Shaders. This hasn't really done what I thought it was going to do. I thought it was just going to be more like an OG Minecraft look, but it just looks like a standard shader pack, and I'm getting pretty low FPS on it. The night colors are weird, and again, all red light is just not my favorite. It's just entirely red. Yeah, even coming out of the blue light, red light, just not a big fan of packs that do that. And with the low FPS, I wouldn't recommend. This next one's called NPS. Alright, I wouldn't recommend using this one either, although it is very trippy to look around at. Let's see what we got up next for us. Octpath. This one's taking a bit to load in. Alright, and that crashed my game, so I would not recommend Octpath. Just reload everything else in here before I get back to it. But yeah, that's the first pack that's crashed my game. Not sure if there's some sort of bug or what the issue with that is, but I definitely wouldn't recommend that one right now. See, the next one is Opal Shaders. Just loading in here pretty slow again. Usually those are pretty beefy ones. Again, I like the lighting, I like the water. But again, the thing with a lot of these packs is they look super similar, and this one's just running at 150 FPS. It's not great. Again, super red lighting and nothing really too special about anything else. I don't really see anything that bumps this beyond any of the other shaders that I've looked at that are similar. With the low FPS, I don't think I'd recommend this one. Next we have Optimism, and I'm pretty optimistic about this one. Though again, I don't really see any changes in this pack. Still running at over 1000 FPS. Alright, and night is just completely pitch black. My whole screen is jittering. Alright, maybe I shouldn't have been optimistic. The next pack is Outline 4. And you know what, again, it definitely does what it says it does. It has just placed outlines on everything. Not the biggest fan of that. Maybe if each block was individually outlined and sort of did it in a really cool looking manner, but the way the pack is right now, I would not recommend using this. It just looks weird. Next we have Pegasus. It's kind of weird. The sky sort of morphs into the water at the corners. You can't really tell a difference. And I have like no FPS. Again, super just red lighting everywhere. And everything's like dark and hazy. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. I don't think it's working for me. Next, we have Phoenix Tech's Complement. We had some Complement packs earlier, and they weren't too bad. This one's taking quite a while to load in. Yeah, I'm liking the look of this one. The sun rays are really nice. Ooh, those ores look like they're glowing. It's a feature that I'm a big fan of. 153, again, we're a bit on the lower end, but if the pack looks good, that can make up for it. Lighting's pretty standard again. It's got the glowing ores. I'm a huge fan of those. I really do like the subtle change ones though too. Like, it doesn't look crazy. I think the end rod isn't glowing too much. I would like the soul lantern and the redstone torch to do a little bit more. There is a little bit of effects on the enchantment table. Overall, I do think this is a good pack. If you have a really good PC, I would recommend using this one. But again, with so many that require a good PC, I'm really focusing on the ones that don't need it. Now we're on to Foxel Beta. This one's not working. The sky's not working, the colors aren't working. Yeah, this one ain't for me. See what we got next. We got Pixel Perfect. Let's hope it is. Just looks like vanilla Minecraft that they've sort of made brighter everywhere. FPS isn't great. Yeah, it just looks like they turned up like the contrast on Minecraft. It's not my favorite feature I've ever seen, but you know, if you like this one, you do you. Next we have Pixelcraft shaders. It does what it says. It makes the game very pixely. Can't really hate on that though, as you know, Minecraft is a pixely game. Next we have Prismarine shaders. Oh, I'm liking what this is. This is very unique. It's made the sand texture different. Pretty much everything is shining. I'm not at the highest FPS I've ever seen. Those ores look really nice though. And again, at the end of all of this, I'm going to go through the top mods. I'm going to go into a little bit more of an in-depth view on each one of those. Okay, and the sky is good with all this. This might be the overall best one I've seen so far. Some of those lights are a little bit too shiny, but that's if I have to critique something. Overall, I think this is a beautiful pack, and if you have unlimited FPS to play with, this is the one so far I would recommend you using, as it sort of implements a lot of different things that I like between different packs. Yeah, I'm just really glad to see, certain ones of these surprising me that I haven't heard of. PSX Shaders is up next. It sort of puts more OG on, but it just looks weird. It's wobbling around. I don't like that one too much. Next we have Red Hat. I don't mind the colors. It's maybe a bit too saturated, and that sun is far too bright. 124 FPS as well. Pretty dang low. And I'm not even getting light sources off of anything. Yeah, I really wouldn't recommend this pack. Some of the features are pretty good, but just no light being shown. This weird blue color, it just doesn't look the best overall. Next one, we have a Repetition. Not really seeing too much change up. Well, it says we had an error loading this one, so that's the first one that just hasn't loaded at all. Next, we have a Retrovision. I wouldn't play with this shader on, but I genuinely think there could be some shots that you get with this if you're doing cinematics or something. I actually think this wouldn't be too bad. Like, the effect it's going for actually looks really good, and it doesn't dampen the FPS too much. Next one, we have Seraphic shaders, or Seraphic. Okay, this one's pretty good. The water looks really nice. I'm at a pretty low FPS though. That's always these problem with some of these beefier ones. They look good, but just hardly anyone can use them. But I don't like the night in this one. It kind of dims the lighting way too much, and it doesn't have enough going for it. For there being so many similar shader packs, I just don't think this one sets itself apart enough. Next one, we have Silder's TFC. Don't really see any sort of change with this one here. My FPS is at 1400. I don't know if this did anything. Oh, it's a setup shader. Okay, yeah, so that's not really a shader. Let's go to simply upscaled flashlight. It certainly does look like I'm looking into a flashlight right now. That is extremely bright. Wow. I mean, night is also really bright. I guess if you don't like night looking like night, you could use this pack. Wow, those light sources are just crazy as well. Not a fan of this pack overall, just way too bright. Next we have Sky Gleam shaders. Okay, this is nice. I don't know what's different about this. It just feels like a calming shader. Just a chill shader you could play with. Changing it into night, it's pretty standard. I do like the stars. 611 FPS though, that's pretty good. Again, this is another one you could use even if you have a low tier PC, which again, I'm a big fan of because I know most people don't have beefy computers. So not everyone can just use the best shaders that exist. So when something like this still runs at high FPS, I really appreciate that. Next one we have Soulless shader. Okay, it does those weird textures to the sand again, which I do like, and again, it does mess with things. And this looks like it has some of the best lighting in the game. That lighting looks crazy. It's a really good sky. A really, really good sky. I always love it when they add the northern lights there. Wow, that enchanting table as well is very bright. The ores are very bright. Finally, a blue aura around that. That looks really good. Redstone torch as well, emitting red. This might be the best one just for overall lighting that I've seen so far. Again, it's a pretty beefy pack. I do like a lot of the other things it does, but really this one takes the cake on the lighting. Everything is just, you know, it's pretty dang good. If your PC can run this and you're big into like the way that the lighting works in these packs, I'd really recommend this one to you because, yeah, it's beautiful. Next we have S-O, I don't know how to say that one. But this one just looks desaturated and has motion blur. Yeah, it's way too dark at night. Light sources aren't even producing light. You can't really see what you're doing. You can't really play the game with this pack on. Now we have Spook. Don't really see anything changing in this one. Nothing really jumping out to me initially. Yeah, again, nothing day and night. Nothing that really looks like it's changing overall. Got 1200 FPS. I mean, which is good, but yeah, not seeing any changes. Spook Lamentary. Guessing some more of a horror pack again. Oh, it might be a big one. Okay, this looks nice. So far, I think this is the best like horror pack we've seen. It is taking a little bit more FPS, but again, it looks pretty good. Wow, okay. At night, it definitely gets its point across. Yeah, this would go well with a horror mod. You know, got the red, which again, in this scenario, the red is pretty good. The lights are flickering. You know, you got the eyes off in the distance. Everything sort of just gives you a spooky, eerie vibe, and I know that's what this is going for, so this one really does nail that on the head. I'm a fan. Stracciatella shaders. I can't really pronounce that one, unfortunately, but again, sort of just looks like it's bumped the contrast up. I'm still getting 700 FPS, so it does look pretty decent. Now, I am a fan, actually, of the sky and the lights that it's providing. This one actually does look pretty good. I do like the stars. The lights are, you know, giving off different sort of lights based on the block you're using. It's not all the same. For a really low pack, I think this does look pretty dang good. Next, we got Super Duper Vanilla. Okay, I really like the pinkish hue it has going on. Sort of makes it look like early in the morning. Okay, those ores are very messed up, though. I don't know what's going on with that. It's only like certain sides of it, too. I mean, the ores are shiny, but can't get over that. I really like the stars, though. This pack is really nice. Outside of those ores, I'm a big fan. It does sort of keep that vanilla vibe to it. But yeah, I don't... If you can get past the ores, I mean, I really do recommend this pack, and it feels like it's running really smoothly as well for me. mean, yeah, this sky is really nice. The colors are good too. It's like a pinkish and a light bluish. I'm a big fan. For a pack that runs really nice, 500 FPS, it's good. Next is SWS. Wow, this is very bright. Very bright. The clouds have like an outline around them even. Just super, super saturated. Let's check out night. Yeah, it's just sort of just doesn't really work. I will say, however, for this pack, I do like the rays that are coming down from the stars. That does look nice. Next we have U Shader. This one gives off the vibes of those beefier packs for sure. Like, it's got really reflective water. It's really light around the sky at 97 FPS. Again, it looks really nice. I like a lot of the stuff. Like, the reflections are really good. I don't really like the red lighting, though. Again, I know I've said that before, but it's just not my favorite when they do that. Overall, I mean, the pack does look good, but I think there are better ones, and as well with how low the FPS is, I just wouldn't recommend it. Next, we have Vanilla Plus. This one just looks like a super vanilla shader, but I don't like that you can't see a single thing through the water. It just sort of looks weird like that, I don't know. I mean, the lights are pretty nice. I mean, again, it's a low tier pack. Doesn't change that much. FPS would be really good, but I don't think it's good enough really to say it's better than any others. The second to last one, we have Vanilla Tex. Okay, I really do like the stars in the sky. The pinkish light, 314 FPS is pretty good. It's got that same weird ore bug as that other one. Pretty similar night, very shiny blocks for sure. I do like this. It does look very similar to the other super duper vanilla one, but I still think this looks pretty good. If you can get past the ores, I think this one's a keeper. The sky looks good in night and day. The water reflections look really nice. There's shine on certain blocks that there should be shine on. The lighting's pretty good overall. I really have no complaints with this pack. I think it's a good one other than the ores. And the final pack of our first section is WUT42 Shader Base. I see a few changes in it, but it does say Shader Base. So I'm sure this is either an unfinished product or a base to another shader. However, one thing I will say is that little light off the bottom of the street light there, I really like how it's sort of shining down how a real light would do that. I definitely think that's an aspect of this pack that is, done very well. And if this is, a work in progress, I'd love to see what this looks like when it's completed. And so far, that is all of the packs we've gone through. Now, I'm going to go into a deeper dive of those packs that I liked the most. Alright, I've decided to turn on the rain and fly into a slightly different area where I can still see a lot of those blocks, but make sure I'm in the air getting a little bit more and having those rainy effects to really show what the shader has. First, we're going to start with the BSL shader. I do like how this looks in the rain. The rain is pretty subtle. The foggy aura around the screen as well does look pretty nice. Turning on to night, I think it does really well with the rain at night. The lighting is solid. I think this is a good pack. I really don't have many complaints. You can see really well into the water. It shows minimal light sources from a distance away like that. It's pretty nice. Overall, I would say this is a good pack. I would keep this one in. Next, we're going to really quickly look at BSL Classic to see if really anything is different, because it may just be the same pack. Yeah, it looks the same. Next, we'll check Complimentary Unbound. Again, the rain effect looks pretty nice. It's not going over the top. It's pretty subtle. This was one of the packs I really liked. 147 FPS. Again, that's kind of low, but it's not terrible. Again, this one I really like the way it is at midnight. It's got those shining ores. It's one of my personal favorite things. The enchantment table looks good. I really like when they change up those blocks just a little bit. They make them look good, but they don't go too over the top. You can still see some nice light sources from a distance away. Overall, I do think this pack is better than the last one. And I know this is a popular one, so that shouldn't be a surprise. Next is Dr. Destin's Minecraft shader. And whether this is the regular default Minecraft rain or not, this rain just does look way over the top. It's super distracting. There's so much going on in front of your face with this type of thing. Yeah, and it's not much better at night. Again, the reflection on that really dark water, though, I will say, beautiful. That's an aspect of this pack as well that I'd like to take to another one for the perfect pack. I really like how that looks. That is a very good feature it has. But overall, I just don't think this pack has enough to it. It's very good, but it's not the best of the best. Next, we have Erbium 2. I really do like this one. Very, very subtle rain, which is great. 139 FPS again, pretty low. And I know I do want to really focus on FPS in this section because not that many people can use a shader like this, so it's not really too much of a point in ranking it super high. Everything does look pretty good. Sort of, yeah, the screen does change colors between the biomes. I do like that. I mean, it is a good shader. It is a good shader, but the FPS just makes it so difficult to use. But again, overall, I think this has a chance. This next one is Glimmer. A little bit, the rain is a little bit more in your face, but I don't think it's that bad. 215 FPS is a little bit higher than the other ones. So far, I do like this one. It's pretty good. Night is pretty dark, and again, those lights, they shine for a distance. I do like what I'm seeing as well in the water with those lights. It's pretty nice. It does have a really good attention to detail. It might be even a little over the top with how much those things are glowing, but they're not glowing in a bad way, so I do still like it that way. This one also is good. Just colored lighting. I just want to see what it's like in the rain. It's only really here because I really liked what it did with, some of the lighting. Not really surprising, but I'm not a big fan of the way the rain looks, and the pack itself doesn't do enough. I know it's supposed to be super simple, but overall, I just don't think it can keep up with the other packs that are here to have a chance in that final top 10. But overall, I still think it's a nice looking thing. Next, we have light shaders. Keeps the vanilla Minecraft rain, but again, it's not as in your face as I've seen, so it is still pretty nice. I like everything overall so far. The lighting is pretty nice. It's kind of subtle, but it still works. You can still see in the distance, and with 465 FPS, this is a very good one to use if you have a low-budget PC, or not even low budget, just low performance, because I mean, even on really high-performing PCs, it can be tough to get shader packs to run at good FPS, so yeah, it's pretty nice when one does. Next, we have Lux. I'm not going to be really looking at the sky as much for this comparison. Overall, again, I really do like how reflective the water is. I like the lighting. It does look nice. The rain isn't in your face. This is a really nice pack. This is a very nice pack. And again, like most other ones, when you change from biome to biome, the colors do as well change. It gets more blue when you get into that raining area. Again, I really do like that. And I think this pack really does have a shot to finish high. It's quite nice. I mean, it's not over the top in many ways, and it is missing some key features that I have said are really nice. But what it does do, it does well. Next, we have Makeup Ultra Fast. Standard Minecraft Vanilla Rain. It's kind of getting almost eaten up by some textures, which kind of looks a little bit weird, but again, it's not too bad. It's only at certain angles as well, so maybe that was just a visual bug for me. Now you can't really see too much happening. Again, it's an ultra fast shader pack. It's got pretty good FPS. Most people can use this one. I think there are better ultra fast shader packs that I've shown, but it's still a good option. If this is one that you're catching your eye on, I would give it a chance. With the high FPS as well as the good looks, I don't think you can go wrong with this. Next we have Mellow Shader. This was one I really did like. It keeps that more vanilla vibe for the rain, however it tones it down a bit and makes it a little bit less in your face. I do like the glow it has across the world. The colors are really nice. Checking out Night, again, it looks really nice. You can sort of see everything in the water. It's so see-through, and you can see for miles as well. Everything is it's rendered in and it looks beautiful. With how high the FPS is even in the rain, this is another mod pack that almost anybody can use. And as I was saying about the last one, this one I think even looks better than that. So this one is a real shot because of the high FPS that it gives you. Next up is Miniature Shader. Again, this one's much more simple, much more toned down. Again, it has good water. I like how it tones the rain down a bit. At night, the rain is a little bit aggressive. It does have those different shinier ores, which I do like. It's got good water. It's just a little bit less visibility than the mellow shaders. Again, for another pretty high-performing, vanilla shader, it's good, but not as good as the last one. Next, we have Phoenix Tech's Complement. This one's pretty nice. I can already see the ores glowing from this distance. It's got beautiful sun rays. Again, the water is super see-through. But the one thing is, the water is see-through, but you can't really see light through it that much. Like those underwater light sources, and you can't see as far. I think that does take a little bit of points away, but this is a super clean shader. Very beautiful. Again, the shiny ore is one of my personal favorite things. The lighting's not too over the top. The darkness and the lightness of the screen is good. I think it provides a lot. It's just not perfect. Next is the Prismarine shader. I really like this one. It's a little bit lower FPS again, but wow. I think that genuinely might be the most beautiful thing I've seen in this display of shaders. Just the rain falling on the ground in the reflection, the puddles. I think for an individual thing seen today, this is the best individual thing I've seen. It's a little bit lower on the FPS, but again, if you can get your FPS to match this, I think this is the one you gotta try, as that is just beautiful. A little bit quicker here, we'll go through Retrovision. I just left it in because, again, it provides something that I think has use. Next is the Sky Gleam shaders. And yeah, this is the first one we've had this glitch with. The water and the rain have a very similar texture, so when you see the water and the rain sort of meet at the skyline, it just looks like it's eating it, and it doesn't really look natural. Every part of this pack looks really good as well. It's just other than that fact that it's sort of just like disappearing at that line. Next we have the Solus shaders. The lighting in this one, I remember from earlier, is beautiful. You can already see from a distance how blue that blue light is, how, yellow the yellow light is, and how red light is. The ores shining are beautiful. This is a great pack for lighting, and everything else is done pretty well. I don't like that you can't really see through the water that much, but again, things are rendered in at a good distance. It looks really clean. It's pretty smooth, and everything just looks nice. I don't know how else to say it. It just looks really appealing to the eye. I think this lighting in this pack is the best of any pack I've seen today. Now, some aspects are a little lacking, but overall it's great. Next is that Spooklementary. Again, this is more of a horror style pack, but, just taking another view at it, it does do its job so well. It looks scary. It has a lot of aspects of scary things. That red sky, I think this is a really good pack. Next, we have Siricella shaders again. I can't really tell what is going on here. First off, that rain is so crazy in your face. And second off, why is there just weird water textures everywhere? I am not a fan of that. And you can still see it at night even. I liked a lot of aspects of this pack earlier. That's why it made it to the second round, but it's just not doing it here. And we're going to go down to Vanilla Tech's because I actually preferred the other one a little more than this. And yeah, the rain is just getting eaten by the water again. It's sort of cutting off weirdly. It's so in your face as well. Yeah, I'm not liking how this one's looking. Yeah, that rain is throwing me off a lot. Let's get back over to the other one. The Super Duper Vanilla was the one I said was a bit better. Yeah, that rain is much less in your face. Still super shiny. You can see that redstone shine off the sand. I like the foam on the side of the walls there. It's pretty nice. Again, I think for a super chill vanilla pack, most people probably don't like it, but I even like my little character there getting affected a bit. And that is every single one of them in the second round. Now I'll have to do a little bit of consideration to see which one I think is the best or which I think will go into the top 10. I'll see you there in a second. Alright, and here we go. Starting off at 10, we have Spooklementary. At number 9, we have Glimmer. At number 8, Super Duper Vanilla. Number 7, Phoenix Complement. Number 6, we have Complementary. Number 5, Miniature Shaders. Number 4, we have Luxe. And number 3, we have Solace. This one had the best lighting. Number 2, we have Mellow. This was the best pack that kept high FPS at all times. I really liked every aspect of this, and that high FPS was a big factor in its placement. And number 1 is Prismarine Shader. I'm glad to see that one I had not heard of before it took my list at the top. I thought it was really good, and it really incorporated a lot of things that were perfect. The lighting and everything was just beautiful. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took a long time for me to create this as I had to go through many packs, download many things, and get all these assets ready. If you do enjoy it, please feel free to comment, feel free to like, subscribe, as all that really helps me out in my journey. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back again.